That's what Hotep Ish means and what it is. We are here. We all know we're here for it. Talk about this presidential debate. First debate of 2020. Very hilarious knockdown, drag out. WWE. Now this is WWF, not WWE. This is the old school WWF hardcore wrestling style. And I got with me political pundit, funny person, and overall great human being. Somebody I've recently got to know a lot better, and overall great human being. So don't let the shit talking fool y'all. Dr. Randy Short.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I just need to grab some tissue. For some reason, we did a big Black Farmer conference,
Mhm.
and some people were smoking. And God, smoking really messes me up. It irritates my my bronchioles, makes me itch. So I'm gonna get some water and some paper towels.
Mhm.
And you know what? Just be
Go ahead and do what you
disobedient.
gotta do.
No. Keep.
I'll go ahead.
You know, I'm gonna have some peach snaps right up in here. Yes, I am. I, yeah, that would be really bad. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have some peach snaps, and
Man, Dr. Short,
um,
y'all look at the background. He good. If anything happens, any coronavirus, any
no,
survival
I'm
function,
fine.
he good.
It's no, it's not Corona. This is allergies to tobacco. Plus, it's tobacco season here in Kentucky. We were out in the road, and even through your air conditioner, you got tobacco smoke. It was coming to the car, making me gag. So it's like, God, that's how dangerous tobacco is. So let me see. I'm gonna get some peach snap. Dawson, I'm having some peach snap. I'm gonna add some lemon juice to it because I'm tired of this annoying cough. Um, and
I
no, I'm
can't be
not.
around cigarette smoke that long. It fucked me up too.
I, I I'm not alcoholic, but a little bit of peach snap with lemon juice. Since I don't have my oregano oil and all that stuff is back in DC, I'm gonna do this, and it's not gonna make me high, but it's certainly gonna get some of this cold off my chest. Now, by the way, I'm here, and I'm. Oh my God! I'll show you. I'm brewing. You know, making pies. That's go. I make. I just start making sweet potato pies, and what you call them black power pies because they're purple, like black pies,
Mhm.
and see what we can do. Man, this thing with the black farmers was so positive, man.
So tell let me break it. So tell them about it. You were at a convention with the black farmers.
Yes, there's a group called Ag First. It's based out of Russellville, Kentucky,
Hmm.
and they also have a huge cooperative of black farmers in Georgia, centered in particular around Tifton County, Georgia. And their whole mission is to recruit new generations of black people to come back to the land, start producing, start making, stop crying, stop bitching. Um, there's value in the land. And we can't depend on anybody to feed us anymore. They're not going to do it. SNAP could go one day. And by the way, I'm used to SNAP with my unemployment. I love it. In fact, I used it today. I got all this expensive stuff. You should have seen the cashier crying. It was fun. It's the one thing, see the jealous ass people who I would never spend that much for your material for what is it? I would never spend that much for vanilla extract. I says, well, I did. Charge it. Oh yes, I did. And get me some good stuff. Yes. Um, food stamps isn't reparation enough, but we do need land. And black people across the country, we're going to talk about reparations. We need to get very serious about the 2022 Farm Bill. We have an opportunity to use our influence to empower those who are farming and to create opportunities for millions of Black people to find their way in the agri-industrial sector. We live in a world that's hungry. We live in a world with bad water, bad food, bad everything. Only thing good is pussy, and half of that's gay. So, we got to do something, right? So, the people have come together and they're looking at ways where we're going to eventually network across the country to bridge the divide between people who are growing in the city. Like there's a gentleman in Los Angeles, I forget his name, but he shows people all over how to do what's it called, raised bed farming and gardening all over Los Angeles. We want to bridge the gap between that. We want to see if we can do things like, let's say you're an herbalist. Let's say that you grow your own herbs and you have your own press, or you've got your own cold press. You should be able to enter a network of other producers where we could help market what you have.
Okay.
If we went to a hemp farm, I mean, these folks growing hemp, and by the way, hemp, anything can be done with hemp. And it used to be called nigger hemp or slave hemp, or the nigger crop or the black crop or the slave crop, because Black people were the first green thumbs with hemp. Mm-hmm. You can do anything with hemp. We need to get on top. We need to get on top of the green opportunities that our ancestors used to have. And we may not be able to take over these big cities, but we could rock and roll some of these small ass towns. The Arabs do it. The Asians do it. The Latinos do it. And yet Black folks try to duke it out head to head with people who are better capitalized, better organized, more united. We need to stop that strategy. It hasn't worked for the last 100 years. It's time for us to go back to square one. Towns, cities that we can control and be dominant in, take over the economy, control the commanding heights of production, to control the hard assets of land and everything else. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine, yeah.
And make ourselves powerful, one small town at a time. We can employ even the most illiterate Black people, can pick watermelons, run a mill, can do food processing. It's work. I'm going to just say this. I can't stand boule, bushy, sellout, coon Negroes. They look down on Black folks that work as parking attendants or waiters or farmers, but that's real work. There's honor and dignity in all labor, provided you're not raping kids, shooting and killing people. Anyone Black I see working and producing, I respect them. Yeah. Period. These folks, if you're not at a white university, you're not on CNN, you're not loved by liberals that want us to kill all of our babies or turn our rectums into vaginas, then they can't approve of the work you do. I have one word for them. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
The rest of we Black folks who may not be on their level, whatever the hell that is, we have to eat, we have to live, we've got to have shelter, we have dreams, we have a future too. We need to rebuild the Chitlin Circuit. This assimilation program of the Boule and others has just about destroyed Black people. Mm-hmm. They're worse than the Nazis, the Klan. They're worse than the nastiest right wing of the Republican Party and the nastiest leftist wing of the Democratic Party. They're scum. In fact, the dried up nut under my prepuce of my dick has more worth and value than these people do, even if I haven't taken a shower. That's how nasty they are. That's how filthy they are. That's how they betrayed and messed us up. And there's just nothing nice or respectable I have to say about them. If it applies to anyone listening, go to hell. And your family and their bushy houses and your Jack and Jill and shit can go to hell. You're my enemy. These other people are competitors for a place in the world. They're playing some Darwinian stuff. You're just an out-and-out Judas Goat traitor. And I say this to anybody. If I could be dictator of Black America for just like 2 years, I would punish all the coons and the boule. Y'all would all of y'all would hear, y'all would feel from us what y'all have done, how y'all have betrayed us. People should start having nervous breakdowns, wake up one morning and find out they're a coon and nobody in the community likes or respects them. And by the way, I have a coon alert. I have the coon buster alert. And I'm
Okay.
not trying to be negative. The brother, Mr. Cameron, the Attorney General in Kentucky.
Oh, that nigga.
Well, I didn't call him a nigger. I didn't even call him a coon.
You gave him
But
a chance. You gave him a chance.
you know what? I'll give everybody except for Hitler and the hoes he sleeps with the chance. Okay, one. Okay, maybe half of one. I lied. None. I don't trust none. Certain racist people, no, none of them. They're in the same position as coons. Look, Cameron, brother, I don't know you. I haven't even been on the media talking bad about you because I'm trying to give you a chance because Kentucky needs a change. It may not be you, but you better not align yourself with the enemies of black folks. Now the folks have woken up. Breonna Taylor has become a Joan of Arc. Whether she's a pusher's hoe or whatever you want to say about her, the way that people have taken her to heart, it's the same way white people took those tricks in Scottsboro to heart against black people back in the 30s. And they didn't care how many different men's dried up sperm they found them. In their mind, black men raped and outraged white women, and they were pissed. As far as we black people concerned, y'all murdered that woman in her home, shot her practically naked in her house with her boyfriend, and we can't be satisfied by any of the regular bullshit. And so, on one hand, black first used to be interesting. Now, the only thing these people are first in, backstabbing and motherfucking us.
Mm-hmm.
That's real talk. Real talk.
Motherfuckers.
That's absolutely the real talk. Okay, Lori Dykefoot up in Chicago, the one that looked like Beetlejuice, got covered in some chocolate because he tried to steal some Hershey's. People
Lori
like her.
Yeah, her.
Dykefoot. Call her what she is.
Yes,
With her,
exactly.
and I'm just telling you, her female husband that looks like a retired Boston Celtics guy with a Larry Bird. She does look like him.
She like Kevin
If she got a mustache, if she had a mustache, they'd be giving her free basketballs every time she went to a sporting goods store.
And Lori Lightfoot looked like Andre Iguodala. Like they bedroom in the finals matchup.
Well, let me just tell you. I mean, I keep telling folks she looks like that thing off Lord of the Rings. and the thing she says is precious, precious. She talking about white supremacy. She's sorry. The mayor in D.C., she's no damn good either. None of them are any good. And, the coon politicians, all of them. Now, let's get to the debate.
Let's get into it. Before we get into the debate, I want people to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit Dr. Randy Short's Cash App. I'm going to put that up here in a second. There it is. It's right there. It's right there on the screen. Hit his Cash App if you feel so inclined. We are here with Dr. Randy Short. We're about to get in talking about this presidential debate. For everybody who saw or didn't see it, there was a debate tonight between Joe Biden and President Donald Trump.
And two angry, old-ass white men. It was like two winos with the last bottle of wine in the world. It was incredible. I want to see that all over again. I just listened to it. Okay, I can't wait. I mean, because I could just see Donald Trump turns more colors than a chameleon on LSD.
And he did it. He did it tonight.
You only have to say something he doesn't like and he starts turning colors and such. And as for Joe Biden, aside from him not knowing his wife from his sister, and from not knowing which college he attended, as much as he likes segregated schools, he put his ass in an all-black school. Back when he's crazy. It was hilarious. I mean, Chris Wallace, come on.
Yeah.
Chris Wallace is proof that no matter how much you do for Jewish people, if they don't like you, they don't like you. Chris Wallace is Jewish. Trump has done everything except give a blowjob to Bibi Netanyahu. and that still some Jews don't feel him no matter what. I wish black people were the same way with politicians, that you could give them something and them still like have an
It's still
attitude
not
against
enough.
you. I wish we were like that. So, more power to Chris Wallace.
You know my
I'm not
favorite part
mad
of
at.
it. You know my
Hmm?
favorite part of the debate when
Hmm.
Trump came out. I had a lot of favorite parts. One of them, because to me, is entertainment. All these motherfuckers is lying, but when you break it down, because they both lying. But when you break it down to it, Trump did a way better performance at lying than that motherfucker did. He called out Joe Biden because Joe Biden talked like that, talk about his son being in the military, and then
Hmm.
Trump hit him back. You mean the one that was kicked out because he was a drug addict?
Yes. Oh, he should have said something about the son that Joe
Doing on
Biden
crack.
was praising, the one that Joe Biden was praising, that covered up for black people being lynched and murdered in Delaware.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't he bring that up? Why didn't he bring up the fact that Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was screwing Beau Biden's wife?
Hey, for people who don't know, Hunter Biden, his son, his brother Beau Biden had cancer and died, and the brother basically got with his widow and wiped her up.
Yeah. No.
They didn't get
With
married.
all due
I say
respect,
wiped up, I mean they got together.
with all due respect, maybe chemo gave him erectile dysfunction.
It's fucked up. Hey, maybe. Or it could have been the drug problem. I don't know. Because remember, Joe Biden was the author of all those drug laws, but his kids was the ones that's on goddamn drugs, and that never happened to him.
And his daughter, that they never talk about, she's on dope too.
Oh, yeah, she is on dope. She got convicted like a couple years ago over some stuff. Not convicted.
No,
She got
his
arrested.
niece
Not
that got
convicted. She got
busted.
arrested.
His niece got busted for shoplifting.
Yes,
They're sleazes. All of them are sleazes.
all of them. And so for people out there,
All of them are sleazes. There's not, and they all hate black people. So I call him Blunder Biden, the one that doesn't pay child support with $400 million. Why didn't they pick his ass up?
damn.
Think about all the brothers who miss the child support payment and lose their driver's license, who didn't have the money.
He had
So,
the money, didn't pay.
you know what? Just seeing Joe Biden's dementia ass makes me want to vote for Trump, just out of general disrespect principles. Okay, and it's true. Trump has done more to help black people in 47 months than Biden has done in 47 years.
I'm not going to argue that.
Trump's platinum plan, if you heard about that, when you talk about putting money in black neighborhoods.
Yeah, I heard it. It's a bunch of bullshit, just like Biden's plan is a bunch of bullshit, but it's better bullshit.
I look, if I had to choose between Trump's bullshit, where you let some people out of jail, and Biden's bullshit, where you put them all in, I'll take Trump. Now, I need to bring this to your attention because there was a story that was in the news about an explosion and the need of money in Delaware because of a shortage of money for people receiving supplemental nutrition program, SNAP, aka food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Blacks are starving in Joe Biden's Delaware. If you can't help 300,000 black people in Delaware, and you've had 50 years to do it, how are you going to treat 50 to 60 million black people as president?
EC Floyd says something in the chat. He said the jail release wasn't for black people. But I will say this: 90% of the people released were black.
It was actually 92%. And
My bad.
And Joe Biden, they keep it covered up. If you try to get statistics on Delaware, you'll find it very hard. Delaware has one of the highest rates of mass incarceration for blacks in the country, but you won't hear about it. That's Biden. Police corruption, police murders. It happens all the time. You never hear it in the news. Joe Biden belongs to the bankers. The foreclosure bankers are Joe Biden's people. You can't get a bankruptcy deal when you owe a student loan because of Joe Biden. You can't go bankrupt easily when you owe debt to a credit card company or others because Joe Biden was working on the legislation to make certain that you had to pay no matter what, and they got an APR of 900% on your card. Joe Biden is a liar. Joe Biden is a racist. Joe Biden has been screwing black people for a half century. Donald Trump might be dishonest and got bigoted ways, but it's interesting. People seem to forget Donald Trump lending money to black business people when nobody else would. It gets even better. As stingy as Donald Trump is supposed to be, Donald Trump canceling the debts of the money that he loaned to black people. He didn't do that to white people.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
I've heard that story a few times where he lent to some black people.
He would do stuff for black folks that no one else would do. Is he problematic with everybody? Women, Puerto Ricans, Arabs, blacks aren't hated more. If he dislikes people, it's in general. I would prefer that to Biden, who specifically hates black people.
Trump is spreading this hate all. It's dispersed.
But at the same time that he shows hate, he does every now and then some good stuff, specifically for who he wants to give it to. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden thinks that reparations should go to Native Americans as well as to black people. But wait a minute. Why not acknowledge that people like me are Native American and black? Where's my damn money? I should get 2 checks, shouldn't I? All of us that are Cherokee or Shawnee or Blackfoot,
Choctaw,
Seminole, Pamunkey, Powhatan, Piscataway. I'm naming groups. I haven't gotten shit. I don't have a damn casino. I don't even like to gamble, but I wouldn't mind taking your money if your ass is stupid enough to go and put it in the machine. I don't even like it, but hell, what difference does it make? So, but Joe Biden, whenever it comes down to something specifically being for blacks, other than prison, other than abortion, he wants to share with others.
You brought up a good point, because I want to bring up a point in the debate tonight to go along with what you said. I want to hear what you got to say about this. Mm-hmm. When Chris Wallace changed the question and said we're going to talk about race, we're going to talk about race relations in the United States, Joe Biden's answer, and I'm paraphrasing, don't quote me, but his answer, the first word he said was, well, anti-Semitism. He asked about race with black people, but when he answered, he went into anti-Semitism. And this is my message to black people. My thing is, people always ask, hey, you don't like Biden, that means you must be a Trump supporter. No, I'm not a Trump supporter. What I'm saying is this. I'm a black first supporter. I support black people. And I know that black people perform well when we know we have an enemy. When the enemy's clear, and we know this person's not going to fuck with us, I trust us. We tend to get off our game when we think we got a homeboy in the White House. Have we not learned this already? Bill Clinton, we thought we had a friend, mass incarceration. Obama, we thought we had a friend, the banks got all the money. All I'm saying is this, people, is us as a people, we win when we know better. And when it comes to Trump, people keep saying, well, Trump didn't denounce the KKK. He's not calling out racists. Look, goddamn it, we don't need him to. It's your black ass job to call out the racists and identify them. You have the power. You say what it is. And you define it. You can't wait on no white racist to define what a racist is. That's our job. I talk too much. Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm in full agreement, but I want to bring this to mind. If you were out and let's say you were a sailor, right? And you came to shore, you were in a submarine. You're tired of looking at men's hairy chests all month long underwater, and you get to Honolulu, right? And you want to screw, and you go somewhere, and you tell someone, "I want to meet some fine, fine ass hoes," and someone says, "I can take care of that." And you know what they do? They bring you a bunch of trannies. What would you think about that?
I'd be insulted.
Okay, when he asked him about anti-black racism and he talked about anti-Semitism, it's just as nasty as you trying to get some pussy and I want to take you to someone with the busted asshole that wears Depends.
That ain't
Well,
it.
that's what it is. I mean, what did I say? Chris Wallace is a Jew. He asked a question about blacks, and Biden basically says, I don't give a damn about black people. Yet he said he was for justice for all, but he doesn't mean that.
He don't mean it.
We know that Cedric Richmond and that Magic Johnson looking heifer, Simone Sanders, coached him. She does look like Magic Johnson's son.
Oh yeah, she look like E.J. Johnson.
She does look like Magic Johnson's son, and nobody would want to watch her on television. That's sad. Okay,
Simone Sanders, goddamn it, she look like Rerun.
Well, actually, Rerun had a nicer face.
Oh yeah, good point. Yes, Simone Sanders is a woman I'd not want to wrestle. Any nigga in here would probably lose that match.
Well, you have more hair than she does.
Yeah, you're right about that. My split ends are a little bit, yeah.
Now, I'm just tired of her. She's a loudmouth Jezebel, Democratic Party operative. Her and Donna Brazile, who's got big feet, like she's been stomping out forest fires for Kamala Harris. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, Donna Brazile. Sorry, heifer. Yeah. And look, Trump won. Trump won by virtue that he appealed to his base. He refused to suck butt and be different from how he normally is. So the people who support Trump would support him no matter what. But most importantly, the things that Trump put out on Biden that the mainstream media has refused to cover, like how Biden has been hurting black people, that will be all over social media. You know, Professor Black Truth and crew are going to be saying, we hate Trump, but Trump told the truth about Biden. Fly Nubian Queen, and everybody's going to have to come out and say, we may hate Trump, but he told the truth about Biden. And so Biden is basically in trouble. The reason that those questions were twisted towards African Americans is because they need black folks to vote Biden in. Everything in that debate was directed to help Biden beat Trump. Trump understood it was a setup, so he just went crazy the whole time. He did a Samson. I'm just going to knock the damn temple down. Y'all hate me. I hate you. You want to put my eyes out and make me into a slave, so I just knock it down for everyone. I'll just ruin it. Trump deliberately tried to ruin the debate.
Yeah, he just came in. He torpedoed the debate. No matter what, he just went right up under it.
Since he saw it as a scam, he decided to treat it like a scam, to just act like, in fact, I don't know if it's true, but you've heard of the Central Park 7 case. They talk about 5, but it's in total 7. And, 2 were got off by Attorney Alton Maddox. Okay, Attorney Alton Maddox about 2 to 3 years ago called me up. And I don't know what it is because I don't know Trump personally, although I know people who do. And so when people are mad, they call me to complain about Trump as if I like when Trump does something that's not favorable to black people anywhere in the world, which is stupid. But anyway, he called me up to tell me that Donald Trump's mother. His real mother is not the woman that we know as his mom. I'm not saying it's true. This is what Alton swears, and that the history of Trump's family isn't quite accurate, and that Trump is a kind of quadroon or mulatto. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
And that Trump isn't really what you think he is. This is part of why he doesn't get respect, because it's like, you're not white enough. And I always had problems because Donald Trump Jr. has jet black hair. Donald Trump Jr., if you got family in Louisiana and all, he looks like a Creole. The very dark hair and all this stuff, no matter how much anti-black stuff. Your dad's blonde, your mom's blonde, your hair's jet black. No.
Somebody added up.
Somebody's very, very black or Africoid somewhere in your family system. That's the only way I can explain the really dark hair, sort of semi-swarthiness, and his isn't from putting citrus on his face. What's up with you, boy? Your hair's really dark, jet black. Jet black hair isn't the norm for certain sorts of Nordic people. You know this.
Yeah.
Spanish, Greeks, Italian, these people tend to have a little bit more of this black thing, tend to have very dark hair. Out of European thing. I'm not Portuguese, Spanish, Italians, Greeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Albanians, people that are like
the Mediterranean folks.
Yes, the highly mixed. So I'm not saying any of what Ultimatic says is true, but I've encountered like the stories of Elvis Presley. Everyone's heard the story where Elvis Presley said he wants black people to shine his shoes and buy his records. People have heard that quote, but don't realize that Elvis, by his management, was forced to say this because Elvis Presley had a reputation of being obsessed with black people, and in a positive way. Liking black food, black music, black culture, to the point where his parents couldn't keep him away from black people. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and you look and realize that Elvis Presley and Oprah Winfrey and Berry Gordy are cousins, somebody is black in Elvis Presley's family.
I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
And so Elvis Presley was under pressure to act racist to keep white support and not come across as basically a white nigger. One of my dear friends was sharing with me how folks close to Elvis Presley, one of his nicknames was Nigger Lover, his obsession of black people, being around them, being friends to them, knowing them, but not.
Hell, he didn't want to put Ike Turner on drugs.
And Jackie Wilson, and would hang out with all of these people, and that's what he liked. If it were left to him to do what he wanted, he would have done things very differently. Donald Trump, all kinds of issues with people of all sorts. But I see this strange openness, at least to some people who are black, that there's nothing he won't do for them if they ask. Contrast that with white people who will do nothing for anyone black. They have no black friends, no black associates. They have nothing. Trump has these in abundance and always has had them in abundance with all of his baggage. It's true. I'm not going to try to make Trump a saint.
I can personally say I know two people personally black people who've had a personal relationship with Trump on some level. Yeah.
I know that Biden does not have black friends like this. The election is, under 40 days away. Where are the black people in Delaware, his constituents? giving testimonials for Biden. He's been in public life 50 years. Isn't it interesting that Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren and that broad I call Clan Butcher from Minnesota, none of them can produce grassroots Black support in their home state who want a national, or Buttigieg. None of these people had Black support on the ground. None.
None.
None have any real. None of them have real Black friends or associates. None. Contrast that with Trump, with all the problems I'll agree to. He's got a considerable number of Black folks that will go to bat for him, whether he's buying them, whether they're coons, whether they're nationalists. He's taken the time in his crazy life to have some kind of connection to Black people. It's you can't deny this. And it's before he became political, meaning there's some interest in, and this platinum plan, if Trump was completely a liar and had no desire to do anything, it wouldn't have happened. Meaning, even if they're not going to fund it, he'd like to imagine himself as someone that did something to help Black people. Contrast that with Obama making the excuse, I'm the president of all the American people. So expect nothing special from me. And Obama is our Lord and Savior and Redeemer for most stupid ass Black people. Trump is our greatest destroyer and most hateful white man to ever exist. And he's talking about putting $500 billion in the Black community. Even if he didn't mean it, he said it with his mouth. Why didn't Obama talk about 100 billion?
You notice, Dr. Short, you know the significance of him saying it? Because again, I don't believe it. You know what I mean? And I saw a lot of the trick bag language within it, talk about minorities and all the other shit. But here's the importance of Trump doing that. For the first time since Lyndon Baines Johnson, you have a sitting president acknowledging Black Americans. What that does, and this is what people need to understand about politics, things don't necessarily happen the first time around. Politics has momentum swings in it. And the conversations get started, and then things get built. For the first time in 2020, the first time since 1968, the word Black, and from a sitting president, has actually meant something in some kind of a way. Because we all know about the benign neglect policy that's been put on us, starting with the Nixon administration. So what I'm saying is this. Trump, at the end of the day, it's a good chance he won't do anything for it. But guess what this does? It sets up for 2022, when it's congressional and Senate races, Black is on the ballot. And everywhere Black people live, Black is on the ballot. And who's ever running for Congress and Senate in their local municipalities, Black is going to be on the ballot, especially if you motherfuckers force it to be. And when it comes to 2024, 2028, and every presidential election after this, until we get our reparations satisfactory to us, Black is going to be on the ballot.
Right.
So Trump don't have, if he don't sign shit, which he probably won't, Black is on the ballot, and we gonna get some shit when we keep pushing.
That's correct. And that's all I've said to people. Get everything you can, as much as you can, as often as you can, until it gets better.
Dr. Show your phone. Your mic. Did you hit your mic?
No, I didn't.
Something happened when you got up. It changed the way you sound.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to come right back?
Okay. Go ahead.
Just
It was something. Oh yeah, he called. So Dr. Short gonna call right back and be right back on it. But that's really what I want to say. Look, people, when it comes down to it, man, none of these people work for us. They work for the corporations. They work for the people who wrote them big ass checks to put them in office. But if they don't give you a little bit of something, you got to go ahead and talk, and at least talk to them and grow it. If what they gave you don't like, it's on us to make it better. And let's keep I'm not saying you should do any one thing this election, because it ain't nothing for us this election. But I guarantee goddamn to you, any elections coming up, it will be big time because Trump has put it back on the ballot.
We've got to do everything we can do, versus just one thing.
It's still making that sound.
Really?
The sound is something wrong with the audio. What the hell? It's something with the audio. Are you on? It was something. Can you guys in the chat room hear Dr. Short clearly? Say something in the chat room if you can hear Dr. Short. Okay, go ahead and say something so they can hear you.
Okay. I was going to compare the way black people do politics to a husband that only likes to do missionary style. Okay. It's been screwing the same way for 10 years. I mean, folk get tired of the same old humps and nipple twists. They want to try something else. You may have to hit it from the back or female superior or try some exotic, marmalade honey, something. If you keep doing it the same way and you're not satisfied, you need to do something else. Okay? And we don't do that. We keep doing the same thing, getting the same result. And that's annoying to people. Now, let me tell you, you had 44 people listening to you. Now it says 0. What's that all about?
Okay. Yeah, they hear you now, but they're saying this. Yeah, it's very high. It's muffled. Try calling right back in one more time.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. He's gonna call right back in. Look, you guys also got to know when we talking this real shit, it be all kinds of technical difficulties going on that can't be accounted for. Because y'all heard the shit. He was sounding fine. Nothing happened, then all of a sudden, it sounded like he talking in a booth. I don't know what it was, but they be fucking with us. Let's see what it is. Okay, that sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah, you back. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Now, what I was saying is that black people's political strategy is similar to an old husband that only wants to screw missionary style 20 years into the marriage. Same old up and down, a couple of nipple twists. And, basically, she's not happy and he's not happy. Now, y'all need to discover some marmalades, some sex toys, female superior, you can introduce her to the flagrante of BJs and so forth. You got to do something different to get different results. We keep doing the same lame ass shit that we're not happy with. And by the way, they're not even happy pressing us. That's why they keep bearing down. We have to make this different. Okay, so just think about it. When you do the same old shit, like being a dumbass Democrat year after year and never switching up, it's like a person that has to change where they fucked in 20 years and wonder why they're in divorce court. Okay, we need to be the ones in divorce court from doing the same old shit. Do some new shit. In fact, every time you go to the bathroom, it's not old doo-doo that didn't come out. It's new doo-doo. Even your shit is new.
Well,
Shouldn't our politics change up like our bowel movement? And if you have old doo-doo in you, you need to go and get a colonoscopy.
He ain't had no old shit.
Yeah, no more old shit. New pussy, new dick, new something, right? New blowjob. The people who act like they're afraid to give you a blowjob, they're like, well, why are you here? I mean, this should be like American Idol, not stand-up comedy audition night. Never mind. You stay in the friendship zone. Just stay there. In fact, I'm gonna put barbed wire around that so your ass don't get out. We have to do things differently because the times are changing. And if we don't change, the time will certainly change us.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to sell dope for Italians. Now we sell it for Mexicans. Nobody likes us. We're still dying. We still go to jail. We control nothing.
Damn. Used to sell
And
it for the Italians, now we're selling it for the Mexicans.
yeah, and you know what? Maxine Waters, she's the Mexican mafia operative, I think so. And so is Karen Bass, her little Uncle Fester looking ass. She does look like Uncle Fester, y'all. She looks like Uncle Fester. Just like Lori Lightfoot looks like Beetlejuice. We have a
Yeah.
lot of strange. I mean, the guy Al Green looks like the thing off the Geico commercial, the caveman who has sensitive feelings. Just all of them look weird. All of them. I'm serious. Have you ever seen what's that thing called Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah.
You know one of them, the one that looks like Shirley Chisholm with the big eyes. It does. It looks like Shirley Chisholm. I think about that whenever I see it. A lot of our black leaders look like caricatures. They're embarrassments, like the one from Florida, Frederica Wilson.
Oh
The
yeah,
one
yeah.
she does look like Muhammad Ali as a transsexual. If Muhammad Ali tried to change his sex, he would look just like her. But he's more articulate, even with Parkinson's disease. Something's really fucked up with that woman. I said it. Yes, I said it about the bitch. I'll say it again. I went in on her on some program in Florida about how stupid she was and how she looked like Muhammad Ali stole some of Dale Evans. Remember Roy Rogers? His wife looked like Muhammad Ali stole some of Dale Evans' clothes, trying to pass himself off as a saloon madam. And I was just talking about her ass. She went out and gave some speech saying people that make fun of politicians should go to jail. I know.
Yeah.
Well, no, fuck her. She looks bad. She looks like a little. If she doesn't look like Muhammad Ali, she looks like one of those lizards that you see in PetSmart. The ones about $60 that sit up and stare at you. You've been in PetSmart, haven't you?
You're right. I give Lori Lightfoot 10 more years of stress, and she gonna look like goddamn what's him John Lewis if she cut her hair off. That's how she gonna look in 10 years. 10 more
You
years.
know what I did was that John Lewis started looking like Della Reese with no hair. And if he did a TV show, it'd be fucked by an angel. I'm just saying.
I took that ass in Selma.
No, he didn't say that. He'd say, "We was marching with Martin Luther King. We want our freedom and justice. So we was marching for our rights because we're American citizens with the right to vote and to be screwed in our behind. And no one can stop us. We refuse to let Jim Crow segregation be a condom on our future. So when we march, we did it in memory of those who came before us and those that were under us and sometimes on top of us."
Those taking it behind us and those giving it to those behind.
I
John
remember
Lewis,
the decision. I was told that you could meet white boys in the Trailways bus station bathroom.
I got
It
a
didn't
question.
happen. It didn't happen for me.
What do you think
Now
about What do you think about Angela Stanton running for John Lewis's seat?
okay. You got a young guy who's 29 who's got a crack. You've got this really awful looking light skinned woman. She looks like a tarantula covered in latex paint, white, that works for Planned Parenthood, killing black babies. She's probably a butch, and they want a black woman that hates black men and likes killing black babies to fill John Lewis's seat, and someone probably LGBTQ to continue killing us. So I think the little ugly woman, really, she's ugly. Yes, you're ugly. And when your mascara looks like Frankenstein's, your makeup artist, you really need to shift up. I mean, just as bad. If it's just bad, you look terrible. Angela Stanton King has to be better than the woman she's running against. And as far as the young man, if you read this program, excuse me, he's young. Maybe in a few election cycles, he will get that seat in Georgia's 5th congressional district. Angela Stanton King, I would love to see somebody upset the Democrat Boule sexuality coons. If it happens, maybe I doubt it because Angela doesn't have the kind of platform, if she has a platform at all, that can unite people. Just running on an anti-abortion platform, you need more than that. I've warned a lot of black conservatives that I call sinners. It stands for single issue niggers. It's either only abortion or only education or only women's rights or only immigration. It's never, a multiplicity of things that they stand for. So at this point, with Angela's main thing that she's reached out on people on is working with Alveda King around being anti-abortion. This isn't enough. But even if she had a larger program, she's up against the Democratic machine there, and she would have to radically change the way that they reach people. So I wish her well. I would prefer her over the other woman. I don't know much about the young man that's running, but he's young, and I think that even he, he is more into himself than in service. A lot of these niggas treat this like it's a beauty contest. Instead of you've got to serve your people and deal with policy. I've been asked to.
I've been that, man.
Okay.
That part about. Go ahead.
Okay. I've been asked to get involved with learning about farm policy, so I can help black farmers. I don't know about farm policy, so I'm a zero. In fact, I'll just say I'm a dumb fuck when it comes to the Department of Agriculture. I don't know anything. I'm really stupid. I'm a zero. But I've been asked to learn so I can help my brothers and sisters that are farmers, which means I've got to understand policy, the semantics, the lexicon, the language, as well as how to write, how to articulate, how to speak, how to approach people, so I can be an advocate for black farmers. That's with me saying to you, I'm dumb as hell. I'm the dumbest person you ever looked at when it comes to agricultural policy. But when it becomes my duty, as I was told by a very important black agricultural leader, this is what you're going to do to help us. I don't have a choice to say, well, I just want to be seen around the senators and Congress people and other people. That's not going to suffice what they want from me. They want me to be able to go into a room and articulate what the policy has been, what the rules are, what regulations hurt black farmers, why one size doesn't fit all. Are you understanding me? Why black farmers need certain assistance in getting their paperwork and grants and other things completed based on what the black farmers themselves tell me. Not how I feel, not how well I dress, not how well I speak. In fact, I have almost nothing to do with it other than being present to give air in the language necessary to help people. When you serve people, you're not as important as the people that you serve. When you're a waiter, You're only as good as getting the food that was ordered, prepared, served, and removed by the parties. I worked as a server, as a waiter. Didn't matter how smart you were, if you could not provide for those people who've given you an order of what they want to eat, then you're no good. I feel if I would put that same thing on myself, having worked in hospitality, I expect from leaders, religious and otherwise, to deliver exactly what people demand of them, or at least try. I know what it's like to someone wants to have coconut cream pie. All I could do is get cheesecake. I can get chocolate cheesecake. I can get chocolate cake. I can get German Black Forest cake. I could get caramel cake, but I couldn't get banana custard or coconut custard. But I at least try to give people a variety of choices relative to what they wanted. Black people who call themselves leaders lack a desire to serve. They want, in fact, most niggas want to be cult leaders. They want to be worshipped, and they want people to just dance and praise sing their asses for stuff that they don't get right. That's Maxine Waters. It's all of them. All of them want to be praised and worshipped and adored more so than they want to serve people. To the extent that, my brother, if I was an advocate for you or anyone, if it wasn't necessary for my name or face to be present in the situation, I would just help you and hide. You get what I'm saying? Our people have an issue. There are a lot of folks who don't care about anything but themselves. And that's a big challenge that we have, and we have to overcome that very quickly. And I swear to you, and I mean this from my whole heart, mind, and soul, we need leadership that's sacrificial. We also need people that can appreciate leadership that sacrifices.
Yes, yes, yes.
Our people, on one hand,
Barry. He sacrificed for us. They shit on him, and we let him.
Yes, but you can be a black teacher that's truly a good teacher and get disrespected by your pupils or abused by the parents. Well, why'd you give my daughter F? My daughter's good. She doesn't come to school. So what? You pass everybody else, right? We have to begin to respect what one another bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And what we could do to make life better for one another if we dared to do that. So we've got a situation wherein very few people want to serve, and our people have a way of abusing and neglecting people that do serve. And I don't know how that's corrected.
I tell you how it's correct. This is my opinion, because I want to go back to something you said a little earlier. You're talking about leadership, and the leader's job is to serve. The greatest leaders are your greatest servers. We as a people, we've gotten it twisted. We've turned our politicians and entertainment. These people, politicians, literally their job, there are too many people to go to the government and say, hey, I want these things to happen. We elect them to speak for us.
Right.
That's literally their job. And when they're not speaking for us, it's our job to either get them out of office, but while we're getting them out of office, we can have a little fun and talk some shit too, especially if they ain't been doing their job for decades on end. So for the people listening and that take issue with Dr. Short clowning or us talking shit about something, look, check the records of the people we talking shit about. We talking shit about people who ran on being black and did nothing in office once they got their positions to help black. So if
Well,
you run
this,
on black and you don't do anything to help black, I don't have any respect for you because I love my people more than I love someone appointed to a position by a few thousand voters. All right. My priority on this channel, anything you see on this channel, the priority is the whole of black society. Those who help the whole of black society get love, they get admiration. It don't matter if they're gay, woman, straight, trans. If they do good for the whole of black society, we love them. If they do bad for the whole of black society, if they take checks, positions, or whatever at the expense of the rest of us, they're dog shit in our opinion. So what you
exactly.
have, your feelings about this are irrelevant
Well, it
because
gets
we're
deeper
talking
than
about
that.
respecting your feelings, people. But go ahead.
Anybody that doesn't understand that we're saying if you're a server in a restaurant and the people never get the food that they ordered, but they pay, you get fired. Anybody that's ordered something, because I see black folks shooting people over not getting enough forks and condiments at KFC and other places. The people who think that we're harsh on them are phony, Brother Dwan. They're fake ass, bitch ass, chump ass, pork chop, feminist ass liars who want to fuck us the same way, and they're hoping that this jacked up system remains in place so they could one day fuck us too. So, in as much as they don't give a damn about you or me, rest assured I don't give a damn about them or their opinions. We're in the process of starting a revolution against coons. And the beginning, there's a really good movie called The Battle of Algiers. Have you ever seen it?
I've heard about that.
Oh, you
I've
got to
heard
see
you
it. It's
talk
a
about
good
it.
movie.
Tell me more. Tell the people more about it.
The Battle of Algiers is just a film that was made by some Italians that was showing how the Algerians resisted the French even though they were oppressed by them. But the most powerful part of the film was when the Algerian revolutionaries went to their community and said to the guy, "You can't pimp anymore. Stop hurting our women. We understand how you've been knocked down as a man. We want a new system, a new order. Stop pimping. Get out of this business. Stop selling drugs. We'll forgive everybody. We understand we've been degraded, but we got to stop." And there's a point where the pimp who had been warned, stop selling dope, stop pimping, it's tearing us down, they execute him. And there are other people who get punished. I'm not an advocate for violence, but I assure you, a day is coming where black folks are going to have to hurt black people who won't get on code. They have such contempt and disrespect for their group until you can't reason or plead or ask or say, hey, don't do this anymore. We get structural racism and injustice. They don't understand someone beating them half to death or their car being set on fire or bricks going through their window. And all of a sudden, you see, in fact, this is what does not happen in our community that creates the confusion where black men don't man up. Let me just give a very simple example. If you go to New York, you'll see black people working, driving buses, and doing all kinds of work. And it'll blow your mind because you may not see black folks have this kind of work anywhere else in a lot of places in the country. But how did black folks get to drive buses in New York? Did it come from just protest alone? The answer is no. The reason that black folks got jobs with Consolidated Edison and other things is because they had major boycotts, blackouts, and other things. And part of the blackout is that you mess with the money by people not having their lights on for certain hours, which caused the profits to go down. If you had your light on when your whole neighborhood had their lights out, people might throw a brick through your window because you were hurting all the other people that were being overcharged for their rent and for their utilities, and they couldn't get jobs for that company. Some black folks will need, and I don't want anything to do with it, but it is coming, they're going to get the shit whipped out of them, kicked out of them, stomped out of them. And they've brought this on themselves. We have, as a people, lacked discipline, male and female. Some sisters need their asses beat. And unfortunately, sisters haven't stepped up to the bat to kick sisters' asses that are out of order. They need to. Men shouldn't have to say anything to women. Women should run women, and men should run men. A lot of black men haven't stepped up to the plate to crush the asses of black men out of order. Trust me, you take Lori Lightfoot, a stupid, vicious, anti-black lesbian. If it were a black man with a white man as a husband doing stuff to hurt black people, black women, y'all would be black men's faces calling them sorry and weak, and you'd be right if they didn't confront his ass. But when the shoe is on the other foot, you sisters are a covenant breaker, hypocrite, lying ass feminist. You're useless to your own people. You don't hold sisters accountable. The day the sister snatches off Maxine Waters' wig, the day that our race produces our version of Anita Bryant and Phyllis Schlafly, and in this area, black women, you have an F- grade. I don't see, with the exception maybe Sister Soldier, a few people, most black women, I'm sorry, y'all morals are in the toilet. Y'all the biggest relativists. Y'all support the trans, y'all support abortion. The only thing you don't support is black men fucking white women when they can't get black pussy. That's when all of a sudden there's morality and everything when it's a black man doing something they don't want. When it comes down to other stuff, y'all often open the gate for a lot of bullshit. And your good pussy, okay, but you be damned. That's some dumbass shit that a lot of black men are on. Y'all have been traitors. Y'all have been taught that you're in a race separate from black men. And we're going to have this conversation. I care not. If you're a pork chop feminist, please have an aneurysm, because more and more people, black and male, are thinking we're going to say this. And yeah, I love black women, but I don't like asshole pork chop feminists. If I could send all of y'all to Canada or Australia where you could become an annoyance to another group of men, I would. Like this, the little punk snaps and say like punk so much,
He gonna send you to Canada with your ponchos and your Timberland boots and army fatigue dockers.
And send them to Africa where the men want 5 and 6 wives. See how long that bullshit game that you run lasts. I was talking to a sister, and she hated the idea of men having more than one wife. And I was thinking, well, what difference does it make? If you're sharing when you're his girlfriend, why couldn't he just be open and say, I'm a rat that needs more than one hole? It's just that he can't do that. Well, I don't agree. So you would rather him be a cheater than him be a married man with 2 wives? Why does that bother you if he's honest and he's not trying to? What bothers them?
Anybody.
It stabilizes the family. So a black man who is lawfully connected to 2 women takes away the ability to bitch and moan and nag about him being a dog. And actually there is a moral power grab and attacking the black men around this issue of having interest in more than one woman, which is universal. And a whole bunch of y'all have more than one man and more than one woman. And the only people who don't talk about this is black men protecting black women's honor when they shouldn't. If you're a bisexual, switch-hitting sister, which there are millions of y'all, they're everywhere. They're like the majority, I suspect. See, you didn't like that. We black men hear it all the time and just accept it. When you turn around and you do what I do, which is counter-feminist logic and counter-feminist talk, it's offensive to people, but we hear it all day long. And that's why black men die early. That shit, get tired of hearing that shit. They just check out shit. Hey, God, come get me. I can't take all these pork chop feminist hoes talking. It's time for us to get on code. It's time for black men to protect, respect, and love sisters, and vice versa. And 99.5 won't do. And when I see sisters saying, well, I'm not going to do all that, but when they get with a Mexican dude, they learn how to make Mexican recipes and shit. And they want to give the nigga some black men. They want to give him some what's it, TV dinners from Murray Steaks and call that cooking, right? You got to live in Red Lobster, or they don't feel like you love them. And then the Mexican, they be like making stuff for his whole family, and they hate her, and they talk about her and call her puta all the time. I think you shouldn't call me that. Okay, you're in California. I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, you 100% true.
We don't give a damn. We hate feminism. We absolutely HATE feminism. We hate it. Black men have to drive that shit out of our community. Feminism is as dangerous as the bad water in Flint. It's as bad as Hurricane Katrina, Black Wall Street. Feminism is like the worst thing that's happened to Black people in the last 100 years. In fact, Brother Dewan, we need to get a group of Black men together to begin to go into the libraries and demand books that denigrate Black men, especially if they're written by feminists, be removed from the libraries, since everyone's in the politically correct speech. I wish Black men would do this.
Yes.
In fact, I tell you something. Women have been dishing this out 50 years. Black women run with your white supremacist, racist women called feminists. And feminism is nothing but white female supremacism.
Yep.
I've run with them. Now, if we started to address that as the problem as it is, you will be miserable. And frankly, I don't care. I don't give a damn. If I had it my way, we need to start going in as men, demanding what? We need to have some laws like all the children have to be DNA tested. And if a woman's been a hoe, and she has a bunch of kids by other men, and that man can be released from having to be responsible for other men's children. And see what I'm saying? We need to put some laws out there to start kicking a certain sort of slick chick in the ass. Reset this shit. I'm for the men paying child support if it's their kid. I'm also for the man being discharged from paying for the bastards of other men's prodigy. That she had, she's probably in the locker room with some Q dogs and just basically cheat everybody. And then pick a little weak ass church going nigga that would be a good man, and then dog him, give him hell. You ain't no man. And he's out working 4 or 5 jobs to raise another dude's bastards, and he looks like Sidney Poitier, and all the kids look like Billy D. Williams, and it's time for us. It's time for us to stop. It's time for Black men to stop being chumps. You're as much a man if you take a woman to court or you test your kids as a woman when she tests to find out if you cheat. If she has a detective look up your ass.
And for the women in 2020, that's for you women smashing these niggas that look like Drake and the baby come out looking like Offset. We know something's wrong, God damn it.
And it looks like Lil Wayne. And did you see he has a white girlfriend? I wish all the little asshole rappers would get white girlfriends so they'd lose their Black female fan base. Oh, that would be so cool. I mean, I wish R. Kelly had a white woman.
If he had a white woman, he wouldn't have been shit 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's true. And he'd be swirling in the name of love, swirling, swirl, 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 swirl. So
but you bring up a good point, because, like I said, it's not about bashing on the gender or saying this gender is wrong. That look, men should not. We shouldn't have to check women when it comes to the racial rights.
Not at all.
Men shouldn't have to say shit. But the reason why you're seeing men say things, because men in our nature, if something needs to be fixed, we fix it. Men check each other all the time. Obama's name ain't shit amongst Black men. If you see a Black man that say he looks up to Obama, trust me, other niggas don't trust that nigga. So let's just tell the truth. Black men, we do check.
He looks up to Obama when he's on his knees.
That's exactly how he looked at any dude that looks up to Obama. We would love to start seeing the ladies check the inappropriate behavior within our community so we don't have to say that. Because at the end of the day, men aren't going to sit idly by forever and let no one say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? I know it just, as a society, we have to clean up our shit. And it's going to be up to us to clean up our own shit. It's not going to get clean from the outside. And I understand women have an issue with hearing men talk about women. And I totally get it, you know, because there's certain things that experiences people have had that make it hard for them to listen to a man say what a woman has to say. The solution to that is that all of us speak up on behalf of ourselves. And if you're a woman, speak up on the behalf of women that you know ain't shit. Because if you about your business, you know the ones who aren't. It's no longer cool to be quiet and allow them to not be shit. We all got those who are on our mission. We got to step up and say something.
And it's the first step. And this is my advice to all men. If a sister calls herself a feminist, she's a white supremacist. If you're a black woman, you're a feminist, you're some type of white supremacist. And
real quick, I want to address someone in the chat room. Someone in the chat room said something real interesting, and I'm going to get you right back to your point. She said, "What about the fathers who aren't being fathers?" I'm saying right now,
we denounce them. We call them out. But what about the good mothers?
No dude hangs out. There's no dude that comes around a circle, comes in a barbershop and be like, "I don't take care of my kids." He wouldn't be accepted if he's not taking care of his kids. We don't. Not the real niggas. The real dudes don't know.
Right.
Maybe other dudes that ain't taking care of their kids may accept that behavior, but real dudes don't accept that shit around us.
I don't associate with brothers that don't take care of their children. I remember many years ago, God, it's been 30 years. A brother was hanging with us, and I found out he had a son. And we were playing spades, and I found out that he hadn't visited his son in like 5 or 6 months, and he's hanging with us playing spades. I don't normally just cuss people out and go off on them. I went off, threw his ass out my apartment. Fuck him. I mean, you mean your kid's out there crying and shit? You playing, grinning with us? You haven't given this motherfucker a pack of bazooka bubble gum in like 6 months, and you think I can stand your ass? Get the fuck out of my apartment. Get out now. Never come back. If you don't fucking take care of your son, I don't ever want to see you again. I don't care if we're friends. I hate you. He didn't hang with people like me. We find out that shit, you done. And it's the same thing. If a man beats on a woman, you're dead to me. I don't like that. That same nigga, he was living, he punched his girlfriend out. I threw his ass out in the wintertime. No. Told him, come get his ass before I kill him. I can't deal with men that mistreat women and children. But I find way too many women that make peace because it's time to get back at men that they allow, and they know their friend is lying, getting child support from the wrong dude, all kinds of stuff. Y'all have used, that person in the chat room, women have used this bullshit to cover for their shit. I'm a Christian. It says there's none righteous, no, not one. It didn't say women are righteous, men are wicked. That's what white feminism says. The good book, all of us got shit to work on. Feminism, women are righteous, men are wicked. I don't believe women are wicked and men are righteous. I believe everybody's jacked and got work to do. Anything that suggests that somehow women are higher than men and men are lower than women, it's as evil as saying men are higher than women and women are low. I don't deal with men that treat women as inferiors, and I can't stand Jezebel behavior. I don't give a damn who does it. And it's a problem in our community. And if you pick stupid ass people to lay down with that are violent or abusive or whatever, what the hell does that have to do with the other men that have not slept and slapped you around? That's a type of sick man-hating where I'm going to apply my stupid ass mating habits, all the other men. Every dick has to go to jail for the bad, dirty ones I've had stuck in me. That's some sick ass shit. I don't apologize for it. If your uncle or your grandpappy slapped you in the eye with his penis, he's a freak. He's a pedophile. He belongs in jail. But don't bring that to me.
Don't bring it to
I,
me.
I, I can be empathetic if you've been hurt, but you're not gonna come and do some passive aggressive shit, fuck over me because of some stupid ass relationship, or because you have a dysfunctional family. I used to. I don't do that anymore. I realized it made women worse. You can't appease a fucked up woman who has a man hate thing. You have to come back at her like a damn jackhammer. So, like, if you see me, I'm in a store, and you're like a checker or something, and you're nice to all the white people, then you throw my shit on the floor because I'm black and because somebody screwed you doggy style, and you didn't, and I don't even know who screwed you. I don't know you, and you're doing all this mean stuff to me just because I'm black and male and out and open, as many black women do. I come back at you just like you're a dude. If you disrespect me like you're a man, I disrespect you back like you're a man. I don't say, oh, sister or queen, bullshit. You want to be a fucking queen? Act like one. If you want to act like a nigga that has a vagina, I'll give you that treatment too. I believe in equality. Most of the time, I find that feminism encourages women to want supremacy under the name of equality, just like gays want supremacy under the name of equality. Not be better or equal people, be less than and demand more for. Not having it. We black men are tired. We're off the plantation. And let me just say this. Never been interested in Karens and Beckys. But I do like Luanas. Luana's a common Portuguese name, Brazilian Portuguese name for a sister. Okay, I'll find me a black woman somewhere else and just outsource this job to someone else. It's time for y'all to get on code. You see a good black man, don't say you have to sleep with them, but you can say hello. If he's not putting his hands, pawing you, disrespecting you, don't bring him the toxic feminist syndrome that, well, somebody hurt me 10 years ago, so I'm going to stab you in the forehead with the steak knife over something you're not even thinking about doing. And there are a lot of weak niggas. They're pussy addicts. They're not really men. And the only thing good about
and a lot of these sorry motherfuckers get conflated with real men. They're pussy addicts, not real men.
A pussy addict, the kind that will say, oh, I wouldn't say that I need to be respected by a woman. These black men have been trained. Basically, they're like a mole or a gopher. They'll do anything to be in a hole. They have no dignity. They just try. Whenever they're in a room full of people, they're trying to figure out who they can screw, female. And they are willing to say and do anything against most other black men because they've learned that there's a whole couple of generations of dumbass, idiot, pork chop feminist bitches in our community. Yes, I said it just like that. Who hate black men, and black men who don't have dignity that down black men get rewarded with sexual favors the same way black conservatives that hate black people get rewarded in white circles for trashing black people. And so these guys get a lot of sex, but the women don't respect them, but they do like the man repeating what they say. And in reality, you have a reversal where it used to be the woman had to be a yes man. She always would say yes and agree with everything bad about women that a man would say. Now you have women have men agreeing with them, everything negative they say about men. Do you, Brother Dwan, think all brothers have their act together? I can tell you they don't. I'm very disappointed in black men on average.
Niggas ain't shit half the time. That's why we here trying to raise the vibration. Shit.
At the same time, a tango. For every nigga that's not shit, there's some stupid, reckless vagina distributor that just has to slip and slide with the lowest, dumbest, recidivistic asshole nigga ever to walk the planet and make more unhappy bastard children and then bitch about it and attribute that to people who aren't even like that. Look, half of this problem is dumbass women. The other half is dumbass, coon-ass, sellout black men. And that's the only way we can look at this, is that it's 50-50. We need to mom and pop our way out of this as a team, not as separate races where black men basically fall under the pimp ideology of just, dropping the pipe and, trying to get over on women because they don't have their own economic system, or sisters that are white supremacists under the pork chop feminism banner. We need to abolish this stuff. And all I can say to you, woman, when a man says stuff that you don't like hearing, he's probably a good man. Because if he's not trying to get your sex when he talks to you, it means that he has some integrity. He's talking to you as a person instead of, I'm going to get those skins. Let me just start lying and saying all the stuff that she wants to hear. Then I can get some. Because in reality, we have a lot of fucking going on in our community, but not enough love, not enough families, not enough romance or community. And ladies, if you're using your infrastructure to promote the pimp culture by sexing and loving and enabling dogs, skanks, or scrubs, whatever you want to call it. If you do that, you're 50% of the problem. Raise the standards. In fact, I can even accept you being with the white dude if he doesn't look like, something off of Hee Haw. But understand something. The grass isn't necessarily greener. Keep your eyes peeled. A white dude ding you in the eye, his white brothers on the police force are not going to come. It's white not like...
Why do that? A whole slave play with your black ass without your consent?
Yes.
You ain't get no governmental help at all.
Let me tell you, sisters, you can lie on a black man and say he hit you. The cops see that you haven't been harmed, and they'll take him off to jail in handcuffs and let you say whatever you want because he's black, and they're rewarding you for knocking your man down. Try that with the white dude and see how fast you get in trouble for false testimony. And your ass goes to jail.
Go if you think he bullshit and go check Stacey Dash. She tried it and she didn't want to go to jail.
You have an inordinate power relationship with black men. It isn't your power, it's white male power behind you to knock your man down. If you aren't sophisticated enough to see through it, when you get screwed, you can give me an email saying, I hated you. I thought you were an asshole. I just knew you were pushing the gay agenda, talking about black men and black women coming together. I guess that makes sense to their ass, right? Whenever a black man says something a black woman doesn't like, he's gay. He gay. Which means that the only way a black man can be straight is just begging for pussy all the time. I just love pussy. I just love pussy. They even want him to say it in church. Okay. The Judgment Day is here, and this country is not going to become more liberal. Donald Trump's going to win again. Watch. And as long as the white majority feels that they're losing influence, they're going to be reactionary. The low-hanging fruit of people to disappear and get hurt outside of police will be black women. It's going to increase. We need each other. A lot of y'all think y'all can walk around with your behinds hanging out. You think someone won't pick you up and make you disappear? You need to check your history. 80% of the pimps, 80% or more of the pimps in human trafficking are white men. I'd say about a third of the women in human trafficking are black or more. Meaning that black women are now sex slaves to white men, all while talking about how bad black men are. Well, believe that bullshit that all black men are dogs. And by the way, they put them in dog cages and let pit bulls have sex with them and all this other kind of stuff. And sometimes they're black, but they're mostly white men. And by the way,
went out again. They fucking with your sound, Dr. Short. It's fucking with this. There it is. You back.
I was just saying that the majority of the pimps are white. They allow pit bulls to have sex with women and all kinds of stuff that happen. And by the way, no one's really trying to shut human trafficking down to the extent that it sucks up a large number of black women because most of the pimps are white men. So while you dog black men as all being no good, and there's a lot of truth to the trashy black men that go to the strip clubs, this, that, and the other, but the people that control the real pimping on an industrial level are white men. Your dream dates, your dream husbands,
your zaddies.
they're
And
gonna
I'm gonna
have
be able to go back if you think Dr. Short's bull. If you haven't seen it already, go back to my interview on this channel about two weeks ago with Jada, the self-esteem queen. She talks about that she's rescued over a few thousand people from sex trafficking, but she once was a victim of sex trafficking, and she broke down how here in LA, when you drive up and down Western, the reason why you see all those hookers out there is because the police are the pimps, allegedly. I'm gonna say that for legal purposes, but your watch commanders, your people deep inside the police departments here in LA, are oftentimes the pimps. And this is coming from someone who worked the streets of LA as someone who rescued human trafficking victims. So Dr. Short ain't just pulling something out of his ass. And she talked about how when she was being on the high level pimp, when she was a prostitute, she talked about one of the most prominent businessmen, someone who has one of the most popular shops here in LA, being her pimp. A very wealthy white man was the person that was pimping her out to other wealthy white men when she was in her college years. So on this channel alone, we've had talks about what Dr. Short is talking about right now. What's up, Mr. Dion Peoples? That Jada was a good interview. Yeah, thank you for listening to our interview, brother. We got to know that, you know, and we also, another thing we got to use before we close it out. Before we close it out, Dr. Short, I want to say this one thing here. Black people, and I'm starting to see us do this. I'm not saying this because we're destitute. I'm starting to see us do this more, but it needs to increase more. Black people have to get back to trusting what black people say. We have to trust our brother, because a brother like you will say a lot of things, but they won't believe it until it's said by either a black person on CNN or anybody or somebody by an official mainstream source. We got to remember those official mainstream sources, according to them, have been lying to us since day one, according to their own shit. So we got to know that. And so as we start trusting ourselves more individually and trusting people who look like us, we can then pass the information through the grapevine and get things done. I'm seeing a huge increase in black people doing this. We're a lot better than we were in 2010 with listening to each other and trusting each other.
That's because Ofago was president. And, you know, here you go. Thank you very much. Brother Dwan, you got to show that misinforms a lot of people. First and foremost, I was the best president that our people ever had. No, it's true. I looked out for gays. I looked out for the homosexual. I looked out for the illegal alien. But I did let the police shoot you. You did get a trial. This is the thing that I need you to listen to before you respond. Stop lying to the people. Barack Obama was the best president, the only one that loved black people enough to try to replace them with hardworking people south of the border. Some of them had an education, some of them didn't. But I want to say to you, Joe Biden is a good man. His son snorts coke. Well, I did it too. I smoked it. But look at what it did for me. And look at how I was able to deceive and take advantage of you. And you still love me. And I'm richer than ever. And I've left you behind in poor neighborhoods. But you too can betray the majority of black people for your own individual benefit and have a good life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Okay. Obama, that motherfucker right there, man. He, like I said, black men don't fuck. Only black men who fuck with Obama are the Van Jones type. And I just saw.
You mean
I watched.
Scam Jones?
I just saw a little bit of the post debate. I spent about 15 minutes watching Fox News, 15 minutes on CNN, 15 minutes on MSNBC. I just jumped around to see what these dumb motherfuckers was talking about. And Van
Did I
Jones
ever
was like,
tell you?
the
You
thing
know,
that I didn't like was Trump didn't call
he
out
said, "White
racism."
look, well, you know, he's upset. I tell you why Van Jones upset. His white wife left him. She probably is a Trump voter, and
Hey,
so yeah,
hey,
she left him bad.
Van Jones, he had one of the ugliest white women he can find. He went
Okay,
Charles Barkley ugly with that man face bride he was with.
well, let me just say that way back in 2009, when they first announced that Van Jones was confirmed by Obama, I called Obama. I called Van Jones's uncle to congratulate the family. What's the name of the family? Van Jones's family is from Arkansas. It's from Searcy, Arkansas. The name is Kirkendall. Kirkendall.
Mm-hmm.
I called his uncle, Mr. Kirkendall, to congratulate him on Van Jones's success and to say to him, I'm very proud of you and your family. It's a proud moment. Enjoy it. It will last 6 months. Obama will fire him in 6 months. But for the meanwhile, enjoy it. That's a hell of an honor. Mr. Capel Kirkendall, whose sister is Van Jones's mother, hung the phone up. Segue to 5 months and a couple of weeks, or 5 months, 3 weeks. I'm with Mr. Kirkendall and his wife for Thanksgiving. And I'm trying to get them to watch the Alex Jones film, the Obama Deception. And I realized, and they have really good food, really nice people. Van Jones's people are very fine people. Please note this. His uncle and his aunt, Tommy Kirkendall and Capel Kirkendall, very fine people in Jackson, Tennessee. Van Jones's father was one of the bishops in the CME Church and president of Lane College. Okay, it's real talk. Okay, now, Van Jones is a little different. He's a card-carrying communist. That's a fact. He works for the Center for American Progress, which promotes pedophilia. That's where the Podesta brothers have set up shop. This is real talk. I'm just saying. I didn't say anything about Van. Now, let me get to Van. A couple of days after Thanksgiving 2009, I called Mr. Kirkendall. Or either during Thanksgiving, I said to Mr. Kirkendall, remember I mentioned to you Obama's going to fire Van? I said, it's going to happen in the next few days. I'll call you when you have a few hours before Van Jones is fired or he resigns. So the week after Thanksgiving 2009, I called and says, Mr. Kirkendall, your nephew's going to get fired this week. He got mad. Van Jones was out within 72 hours after I made the call to his uncle. This actually happened. His uncle is currently got a real problem with vision. I think he's fully blind now. This actually happened. When I tried to get Van Jones's help to prevent a sister from being thrown in jail for having an argument with a white woman, they're going to put her in jail for 10 years for an argument. 10 years.
Yeah.
When I reached out to Van Jones, he refused to talk to me. I was referred to white people. Van Jones wouldn't lift a finger. Luckily, the girl only had to spend Christmas of 2009 in prison for having an argument with a white woman down in the Boot Hill of Missouri.
For having an argument.
No help from anybody, none from that bastard Lacy Clay who lost his office in St. Louis. No one would help. Van Jones referred me to. The white people in the Color of Change, they refused to help. So imagine a phone call, a letter, an email could have helped this girl. Nope, nope. So Van Jones, in my book, you wouldn't help me with a young black woman teacher with no criminal record, avoid being thrown in jail for simply standing up for herself in a Walmart. And you're telling me about white supremacy. Van Jones, you're something of a hypocrite. Tell him I said it. You wouldn't help me. I have the damn email. Unless my email has been erased, I've had a few emails erased. I had an email between my exchanges with Maxine Waters. They disappeared. You know, they can go back and retroactively take your emails out. They disappear. And you
when
know
I found that out during 2016 when they were finding all that stuff out with the Democratic Party, how people had emails that was suddenly, whoop, whoop, whoop. I've heard a few of them stories.
So I've had some of my emails disappear. I stand on what I said. I know for a fact that Van Jones refused. And I went not to just anybody, but there's only his mother and her brother. You mean your only uncle on your paternal line doesn't have enough pull to get you to make a phone call?
That's who he is.
Think about that. We weren't asking for money. I wasn't asking for him to throw a Molotov cocktail. You mean all he did was basically, I was nobody he needed to speak to. So one day I may cross paths with Van. I don't want to hang in their circles. I would rather talk to you and us just talk to 5,000 or 6,000 people and be for real than be on the Coon News Network. And if you watch CNN and that's where you get all your news from, you're a damn coon. Fox, or it should be Fox News, sometimes they have the truth, sometimes they don't. CNN, a lot of Negroes trust it because they put black faces on there. You know, if you put black faces on fentanyl, you can get niggas to shoot up with it. It's time for us to stop.
Time, man. Yeah, in the chat room, I want to thank y'all for joining us. Yes, Tasha, in the chat room, that color change if people are white. Yes, that is a matter of fact. That's true. Same with Black Lives Matter when it comes to the people handling the money.
Well, let's just do this real fast. The Color of Change, when they went down to Louisiana and they did their big march back in 2008 or 2009, they left those black folks down there to face the wrath of the white people after the cameras and people marches left. That's some empty shit. Van Jones,
shit.
It is cold. It's some backstabbing coon ass shit. And he's a backstabbing coon who's all over the place with this little communistic bespectacled wire rim glasses. I mean, that's his old Harvard New England leftist shit. I'm so glad I'm not up there. You know what? I'd rather be a project nigga than be a fake ass nigga thinking that I'm doing something when in reality I'm just a slave that eats Chateaubriand cheese and shit. You know, come on. Yeah. Or Camembert cheese, and you eat brie, and you get to go to the wine and beer socials, and I like this Sauvignon. Well, but I like the Merlot. Well, and it's all this fake small talk shit they do at these parties. You almost want a revolution just to see them be scared and stop being phony. You live in California, all faking. Oh, this is artesian flatbread. Oh, I'll have one. Oh, this is Gruyere cheese, and they have all these names for cheeses and shit. It's usually nasty. You can just get some regular American cheese from the corner store. It's as good as the shit they're eating.
Get some goddamn mild cheddar, you good shit.
It's a name you can't pronounce, a price you can't afford, and the shit gives you more indigestion than the shit you could have gotten from Save-A-Lot. Just real talk.
That's real talk. Man, I want to thank you, Dr. Short, for joining us. We got to do this again soon because It's a debate next Wednesday, man. You want to do this again after next debate?
Yeah, I'll be back home. I'll be back in DC, and let me just do my Donald Trump.
Go ahead.
Joe Biden is such a piece of shit. I crushed him. The whole world saw me. I literally took his nuts and pulled them off one at a time. And I'm going to do the same thing next week. I'm going to hurt him very badly. He's very badly hurt, Joe Biden. Look, he's so old. He can't find hair plugs. I think they're analog. That's why he's got the creepy bald spot that looks like the dark side of the moon, which is why he's always trying to face the camera. I don't want anyone to vote for him. He doesn't like the African Americans, the only people I helped. And aside from that, all of his kids are junkies, but he sends all the black kids to jail. You guys are dumb as fuck if you vote for the Democrats. I'm trying to give you guys, well, sort of a reparation. You're going to have to, take it by force. Like form a mafia or something. But you got to learn how to read to take the oath. Okay. Anyway, let me let you know.
You back? So,
okay.
Yeah, man, that's hey Trump. Hey, and then I want to put a bow tie on all this shit. At the end of the day, both parties were full of shit in today's debate. I say debate. The fuck is wrong with me? I've been talking too much all day. 3 hours on Craig Facts, another 2 hours here. Shit. I need to stop talking. But in the debate, God damn it, Donald Trump cleaned that motherfucker's clock. Because neither of them said shit. But it was a battle of who was more full of shit and who's better at getting their full of shit, nonsense, bullshit, talking points off. And Trump
did it.
When it came
Trump punked him. Because look, Joe Biden was afraid from the minute he brought up that damn crime bill. That's why Biden didn't want to talk about no race. Every time Trump talks about the damn crime bill, Biden has to duck because Biden needs his black numbers to go up.
And another one. And that's why when Trump brought up, people kept saying, oh, Trump didn't ask Trump when he's talking about law and order. Look, Joe Biden ran his whole local political career on law and order. The reason why Trump brought that up is because he knows, first of all, everybody knows law and order means control the niggas. Trump's base is totally fine, open with that. At least they're honest. The liberal side, they love law and order too. Because Joe Biden is a law and order Dixiecrat. He couldn't say it because it's the same thing that made his political career, law and order, is the thing that's going to break him and stop him from being the president. So Joe Biden didn't mention law and order because he loved black people. He didn't mention it because it's going to bring back in the memory of all the black people he locked up. Hold on, he the law and order nigga.
And wasn't it nice when he said, Joe, you called them super predators and a lot of worse things I'm not going to repeat. Joe, you called them super predators. Yeah, you did. You called them super predators, Joe. And there are a lot of things you said way worse. Remember he said that?
I want to thank y'all for listening. Like, share, subscribe. We've had a lot in the chat room tonight. Thank you again, Dr. Short. We'll be back on Thursday. I'll be back with Freeze Love. Everybody love 5150. Freeze Love is going to be on the show Thursday. We're going to be talking shit, swallow, and spit. And next week, hopefully next week, I'm going to have Big Ja on. Y'all know Big Ja. Anyway, my name is Dewan B. Thank you again, Dr. Murray Short. We out.